Taylor Swift and Hugh Jackman are set to be subpoenaed. Also, Brian Freeman calls out Blake Lively's sham lawsuit. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. We got some big updates regarding the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively lawsuit. We are not stretching little stories at all. We're going big stories here with big excitement because Justin Baldoni is damning Blake Lively for her abuse and sham lawsuit and is seeking the smear campaign evidence while saying Blake's Lively is saying, we got nothing to hide. Really, girl? You got nothing to hide? Then why did you tell us about the subpoena when you dropped it? Oh, there's a subpoena that you told the New York Times, but you didn't tell everybody where it was. You could have saved us all a lot of problems by just giving it to us in the beginning so we could have known back then. But no, you had to ask 10 John Does. You didn't know who you were going after? You didn't have a suspicion as to who you're going after? Give me a break, girl. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar, Kim. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, Kim, let's get into this. Thank you for setting this up because we got some comments coming in from Brian Freeman, the man himself, the freedman. He's coming in hot, as he always does, with some fire. You ready for this? With a clear tone of more to come, Freedman's not doubting that subpoena anymore, nor what it all means. Miss Lively and Mr. Reynolds' company, Van Zandt, had nothing to do with this case, and they knew it. Facts. Freeman told the Deadline on Monday. This sham lawsuit was designed to obtain subpoena power without oversight or scrutiny, and in doing so, denied my clients the ability to contest the propriety, nature, and scope of the subpoena. Now, before we get to the rest of the comment, I got to pause there, Kim, and I want to get your thoughts too, because he's right. Like, they should have had an opportunity, Jennifer Abel, Melissa Nathan, these people that they're going after, and they should have had their lawyers getting this as well, to do this sort of nameless John Doe lawsuit with a company that no one could track down without Justin being alerted, without Jennifer Abel being alerted. This is shady, is it not?
It does feel very shady, and I think that that's been a dialogue we've seen from a number of attorneys. I know we've seen a counter dialogue, which I think we'll probably talk about in a moment, but it's just, there's so much about this. It didn't have to be this way. And I also am still sitting here saying, if this wasn't something they were trying to hide, why has it been so hidden? Because it has been from the very beginning. And it's just starting to feel a little bit ridiculous.
It's indeed extremely ridiculous. Now, here's Deadline interjecting their own little commentary. Having filed more than his fair share of Doe lawsuits over the years and taken slings and arrows for his tactics. Basically, what the hell is this? Are you a reporter or are you a biased entity? Sounds like a biased entity because you're out here now shading him. Well, you've done this too. Show us where he's actually done this to nobody at all. Just a lawsuit that's literally from a non-existent company to one of his clients to anonymous people that he has no clue who they are. Show me where Brian Freeman has done that. Deadline, I'm waiting. Anyway, after taking a knock at him, they go back to his quote, "There is nothing normal about this. Officers of the court have a duty of candor to the court and an obligation not to file fictitious lawsuits that have no basis in fact or law. A party with no connection to these proceedings asserting a breach of contract against another party they claim not to be able to identify does not qualify. This was done in bad faith and constitute a flagrant abuse of process." He's spot on again. Now, but will that matter, Kim? That's what the scary part of this is. It sounds like Blake's team is saying, oh, well, suck it. Lively's primary lawyers, Ezra and Mike, acknowledge the Doe lawsuits and assert it is above board and the best way to get the heart of the online attacks. There is nothing untoward here. Just conscientious and thorough investigation. The Lively parties acted upon reliable information and employed common tools such as Doe lawsuits and civil subpoenas that are entirely lawful and appropriate for pursuing claims and uncovering the identity of unknown perpetrators of unlawful activities. Hudson and Gottlieb go on. Notice there's no shade thrown their way by Deadline. No, they just let them get their quotes full. This lawsuit unearthed the Wayfair party's documented plan, in their own words, in their own text messages, to destroy Blake Lively, a plan which they executed without transparency. Oh, but you gave us so much transparency, Blake. Disclosure or notice to Miss Lively or the public, instead acting in a way they thought would be untraceable. You have no proof of what they did, though. You keep assuming what this is. You keep assuming it. You've found nothing that actually proves this, aside from them saying, well, we could, But again, no proof that they did. And you keep using this. Well, look what they had, which you got, I would sense, illegally from that phone in the first place, is the only thing you've gotten that's triggered all this. And you keep using that to deflect from the fact that you're doing the same tactics. You are being just as shady as you're alleging Melissa Nathan to be. Like, you want to call her out, and then you want to go do these anonymous John Doe lawsuits and tell the New York Times before anybody else and not give Justin his chance to fight. But you should get all those rights. I mean, make it make sense, Kim. How frustrating is this? They say, we have nothing to hide. Miss Lively voluntarily disclosed the subpoena in her first filing, knowing it would ultimately be produced by the Wayfarer parties in discovery. It's precisely what would happen if Lively's claims move forward in litigation process. Do you think she was acting with full transparency here, Kim?
They say we have absolutely nothing to hide. Then where is the subpoena? Where? Honestly, because what we've kind of come to understand as we've looked at a few of these articles is that Brian Freeman apparently had no idea that this even really existed. He still hasn't seen it. So where is it? Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. Well said. It's crazy. As we go through here, they're just look. I'll be honest. I'm hyping up the energy as I tease my lines because a lot of this just feels like the same old shit we keep hearing. I'm getting a little tired, Kim, just because the reality, the truth is, I'm breaking my character, but I sold that way better than I did the first read, didn't I? Chat, let me know. But the reason I'm just getting fed up because I want to get to the meat of this now. I want to see what actually this means. I'm kind of sick of hearing all this stuff and back and forths and responses. I'm waiting for the judge to actually start putting his foot down and making some calls, actually getting some depositions, because a lot of this has been all talk. So it's good to hear that we are finally apparently going to start getting subpoenaed some of these people. Taylor Swift, Hugh Jackman. But am I the only one feeling fatigued? Let me know in the comments. Look, I'm still invested. Don't get me wrong. Like, we are fully ingrained and we'll do this. But, it's just like we've been hearing about them for a while. What's going to happen? Are we actually going to see anything? And as I said earlier in the live when we talked about this, I don't agree with a lot of the audience, my own included, that Taylor Swift is the mastermind behind all this. I just don't believe she was wasting a lot of her energy during the Eras Tour, dating Travis Kelce, trying to be a friend to Blake. All this was sitting there like twirling the evil mustache to get Justin Baldoni. She's got way bigger things to do, Kim, in my opinion. And sure, might she have been there to hear some of the bad mouthing from Blake? Okay. Was she there trying to get a song, giving Blake a song for the movie that seemed like it might actually be good? Yeah, I'm sure she was involved in those types of ways as a friendly, creative friend. But I don't personally think we're going to get a lot of juice from her in this. And if anything, it probably is going to go against Blake in that she's going to reveal more of the, actually, I don't even think she'll throw Blake under because she's not going to know. I think both Taylor and Hugh are going to play dumb. They're not going to give much. And as crazy as this sounds and as stressful as it probably was for Taylor and Hugh, I think these are going to be nothing burgers. What do you think?
I wouldn't be surprised if they are nothing burgers. I mean, I kind of feel for them in some ways because I think most of us, if we put ourselves in their shoes, you have a friend, your friend tells you a version of events, you feel bad for them, you want to support them. Until I see concrete evidence that Taylor or Hugh were like masterminds and like big players in it, like I feel like they've kind of gotten dragged into this and that kind of sucks. But at the same time, it is time for this case, I think, to keep going. We need to get into discovery. We need to get depositions going. We need more evidence to be shown. And honestly, I want to hear what the judge has to say about this subpoena. Ultimately, that's what matters, right? It's what the judge rules. We can all have our own opinions and the lawyers can say their point of view on both sides and whatever. But what matters is that ruling. What matters is what is said. And I wonder if Brian Freeman is going to move forward and actually bring this up with the judge, or if he will just leave this as something maybe he can bring up to the jury later to be like, hey, this is how dishonest they've been, right? I think it'll be interesting to see how he chooses to play this.
Without a doubt. Look, there's still a lot to come. We're waiting. These are little breadcrumbs that we're getting throughout. And this subpoena thing's no joke, but I guess I'm just a little frustrated. Like, is this actually going to mean anything? Will this actually deter Blake or her lawyers for the shady shenanigans that they clearly did with this? They're confidently declaring they did no wrong. I'm just waiting for what the judge actually rules on this, and will he at all? That's what I'm just sort of getting ready for. All this back and forth. They did this and they did that. It's like it gets a little grating because it's like, all right, judge, can you step in and sort of help get us to the point? Hopefully we'll get to those points soon. I'm sure everybody involved is waiting for those moments. In the meanwhile, check out the video this morning. Is Shannon Sharp the new Justin Baldoni? We talked a lot about it on the live. My God, we just talked about baby gravy and a lot of other crazy stuff on this live. It got wacky. You're not going to want to miss it over there. He's smiling, but look, while I'll defend him because it does seem like this woman's lying, man, I don't know if I fully want to defend this guy, but at the same time, what he does in his private business consensually, none of my damn business. It is a fascinating case. He's been connected to Justin now in ways that I don't think are right, but in other ways that I guess are. So make sure you check out that story. In fact, I'll put it at the end in our end card. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, whether you're watching live or on the replay. Hit that bell for all alerts. Smash that thumbs up, and make sure you do the same thing for It's Kim over on YouTube. Support her. Go subscribe. We got a lot more coming. We'll be back live on Thursday. We got more videos coming for you, but do us a favor. Click on another story. Click on that one on the left. Support our other coverage. See what you think of that story. You may not know them, but you should know the story. Let's send you over to Nerd Report. Thanks for watching, everybody. Adios, everybody. Bye.